So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hey everyone, it's Neil and Paddy for the Love of Pomegranate podcast, trying out something new here today and something that we call the Team Sheet Tantrum. Long enough in my Villa fandom have I been sitting in front of Twitter full of rage or full of pride or full of anticipation. You pick the emotion when the team sheet has been announced. And sometimes I feel like I've wasted that emotion, on maybe my dog who can't react to me or can't calm me down. And certainly to my significant other, Kira, wherever she is, I certainly have wasted that reaction there because Aston Villa to her is a fantastic house in the south of Spain or somewhere like that. So so myself and Paddy said we'd hop on and we would wait with unbridled joy, anticipation, and trepidation for the team news and have a live reaction for it and see how it goes. Plus that and the fact, Paddy, that it's been 2 weeks since we've seen Villa and time heals all wounds. So we're as mad as ever to get looking at Villa again. But we should get the team news in about 7 or 8 minutes. But Paddy, what's your feelings on it? I know we went over it in the pre-match piece, but what's your feelings on it? Have they changed?
No, they haven't changed. And I know there's a lot of talk going on today that Jack picked up some kind of injury, and I always try and treat it that's just a rumor until we get confirmation, and there was no way we're going to get confirmation until the team sheet is announced, so we just got to treat it that it's a rumor, and I'm sure we'll get to that after the team's announced.
I didn't even see that Jack was injured. Are you serious? Or like April Fool's was 3 days ago?
I know, yeah, and that they're saying he got injured yesterday, but Twitter, unfortunately, has given people a platform to say what they want to say. And, we just have to reserve judgment until we see whether it's true or not. But hopefully it's not. If it is, I still think we're going to have too much for Fulham. I still think we'll get 3 points without him, as much as I would love to see him playing. But time will tell now, and we'll know very shortly.
Yeah, I'm having a few palpitations here now that you mentioned that, because I wasn't prepared for that at all. I haven't really looked at Twitter this morning that much. I've been painting a fence, so if my beard is extra grey, I was painting a fence grey this morning, trying to get all the brownie points in before sitting down to watch Aston Villa on an Easter Sunday. So I was trying to be smart, so I haven't seen Twitter, but that could throw a spanner in the works. As I say, we're only about 6.5 minutes away from finding out what the team sheet is here. But for me, that completely would throw anything I have to say out of the equation 100%. For me, I see that Delboy69 has got in here that maybe this game suits Barkley. Oh, sorry, I got rid of it there a bit prematurely. I think I'm going to say so. I'm going to say that I think we see Barkley in this game. Whether I would pick him, I don't know. I don't know. But the fact that he's been with the team for the last 2 weeks and that they've been training and he's finally getting training sessions under his belt after injury, with having the Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday times, he doesn't get an awful lot of time to get stuff done on the field. And I'm expecting, if we do see Barkley, I'm not hoping, I'm expecting to see Ross Barkley of October of last year and November of last year, because if we don't see that, the Barkley experiment is very close to being over at the moment for me. Just because I don't think we've time to waste around with a player that isn't ours. We did it with Danny Drinkwater last year. We kind of pushed him into the corner for a while. I can see Dean Smith doing this with Ross Barkley as well, because we don't need to continue to play him into form anymore. If he's not performing on the field. Do you think he'll start, Paddy?
I think he will start. I think he's in last chance saloon. I think he will play him, and it could be one of the last times we see him if he doesn't perform today. But I think he's due a good performance. As you said, he's worked over the last 2 weeks closely with the management team and less players around him. So I'm willing to give him another shot. I hope he goes and does it today, because we've some bigger games coming up than today, but we need to get the 3 points on the board.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just a couple of funny comments in there as well. But before we get to those, Ben, great to see you on board. Excellent stuff, Ben. I don't, you know what? I know you're a Vikings fan, but sometimes I can push that to the side. It's okay. If you want to join the Browns bandwagon with me, it's fine. I've been there since about 2004, 2002, 2003. So when we're winning Super Bowls this year, it'll be all good. Philip, yes, Philip, I should use the brush to paint the fence and not my beard. You're dead right. Connor, actually, Connor is watching us from Brazil. I've been chatting to Connor on Twitter. It's great to have Connor's an Irish Villa fan. And you know what? I find it very, very hard to feel too sorry for you, Connor, being down the Copacabana or wherever it is. I don't even know if you're there, the Copacabana, but in comparison to the weather we've had recently up until yesterday, where I think I did get a small bit sunburnt. Fair play to you for exactly. Fair play to you for checking in.
Del Boy there, that message, I didn't realise who it was. The first message, Del Boy is a friend of mine that lives in London as well, an ex-Irish villain who's repatriated over to London.
Yeah.
So fair play to you, Del. Good to hear from you.
Well, we've got 4 minutes to kill as well, Paddy. This, I think, could be the biggest bombshell we've had in the comments so far. And it's from Sam John. Sam John says that Paddy looks like Paul Lambert and wants us to discuss it. Will I ban him? Will I ban
there was a funny thing happened when Villa came to when Villa played in 2013 with Lambert at the helm in Dublin. Two people asked me, could I have a photograph with me? So there must be some merit in someone saying that, as much as I didn't like it at the time. But anyway, there you go.
Paddy, I would have definitely be thrown on the Glaswegian accent.
I've got to get rid of the glasses.
I think it's the glasses too. Yeah, I think it might be the glasses. That might be it. Did I miss a couple there? They're flying in. Guys, keep your questions coming in. I really, really like it's great to see them. Ben says he's really excited to watch McGinn today. I have a good feeling his international success will cause him to push forward today and get a goal or assist. Paddy, do you want to take that one on McGinn? Where do you stand at him? Do you think we'll see a rebirth or a reborn McGinn today after his success?
I think it's a huge possibility. I think he's had a great couple of weeks. I think like we said it in the preview, there's a big opportunity here to play him in that Barkley role. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love if it did, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I expect a rebirth would be the way to look at it. I think it's time for him to push on as well. He's been kind of on a leash, pulled back into the midfield. I'd love to see him get a bit of a license to go forward.
I'm probably in that boat as well. I'm not too sure that we can actually play without him. And what do I mean by that is that I'm not too sure that we can actually. I'll just remove that there. That's just making sure that I've got Twitter open for the team news. I'm not sure that we would be as I'll start my train of thought again. I think that we probably be even more passive than we already are without John McGinn herring around the field. I know people say that we can bring in Marvelous Nakamba and stuff like that, and yes, we can, but I think Nakamba and Douglas Luiz are definitely going to have to play as 2 6s. I don't think Nakamba can get around the field to the same level of efficiency, I suppose, as John McGinn. But look, we will see. We absolutely will see what the crack is there. Philip says that if Jack isn't in the team today, we need to see McGinn further forward as is used by Scotland. 100%. I absolutely agree with that. Connor again thinks that Barkley just can't do it without Jack for some reason. I hope I'm wrong. Well, today would be the great way to prove you right, I think, Connor, that if we have Jack and Barkley in the team and they both go on to have great success today, I think that's something that's that we are hoping to see. Should be getting team news any moment now, guys. Team news is out. Are we ready to freak out? Are we not? What is going to happen? Team news. Come on, internet. So we've got Martinez and goals, Cash, Konza, Mings, Target, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, and Sanson, Traore, Watkins, and Traore, Watkins, and El Ghazi. Right.
That puts the cat amongst the pigeons, seeing as we don't even have Jack on the bench.
That's a load of balls. if you'd excuse my language. This is the one of those things, I suppose, about the live streams that is going to catch me from time to time is my immediate reaction to things. Let me just make this a small bit bigger and see if we can shed a bit of light on that situation. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy for two reasons, and they're both because Jack Grealish isn't on the team and because Jack Grealish isn't on the subs. So now this has me a small bit more. It has me a small bit more worrisome for lots of for what the hell the rest of the season is now going to be. Is this a setback? Is this a fresh injury? Is this game management? What is it? I need to hear from Dean Smith ASAP.
Yeah. Well, the rumor was that it was a fresh injury that happened yesterday.
Bollocks.
So we just what can we do? You know, we've got to, as I said before, the team's announced. There's enough there to go and win this game. It's time for a few people. There's time for a few people to step up to the mark here, and we're going to get days like this until we rebuild a bit further. So let's just get the 3 points on the board and hopefully get them back for next week. It's bitterly disappointing that, you know, the rumors turned out to be true, but there's got to be enough there. Got to be enough there to go and beat a team like Fulham.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I think we can go and beat Fulham. I'm just like, my 2-0 prediction now is very much a 1-0 prediction, or maybe even 1-1 draw. I think this sucks the air out of the room. And that's just being horrendously honest about it in the moment. This is one of those, I wasn't expecting to have our first ever live tantrum to be an actual tantrum. But it could turn that way. I suppose really what way am I feeling about this at the moment is that so the air has been sucked out of the room for me there. The triumphant return of Jack Grealish is now not there. Now we have questionable defensive abilities from Traore, questionable defensive abilities from El Ghazi. We also have the question of what way is our midfield going to set up. That looks very much like a 4-3-3 to me now without Jack Grealish there. And I'm not a huge fan of that. If we cross the ball in 20 to 30 times into the box again today, I think I might scream so loud that Connor, you'll hear me in Brazil. My immediate emotional reaction is this team needs to play through in the middle. We need to get the ball on the ground and play through. If we resort to crossing the ball today, I just can't see us getting anything out of this game. I can see us getting a 0-0 draw, but we have to believe in the fact that we can play through the transitions through the field and try and get on the end of something. Because if we sit back and start crossing balls into Watkins here, I'm not sure we're going to get anything over their two centre halves. What do you think, Paddy? Yeah,
I hope it's a bit more structured than a 4-3-3, because you know it's time for El Ghazi to be doing a bit more defensive work as well as his attacking work. I can't see where the goals are going to come from now without the creativity of Jack and McGinn sitting a bit deeper and Barkley not being there. You know, there's a lot going on. Courtney House was supposed to be in the squad as well. He hasn't made it. He
did only get back. He was only back training, I think, from Thursday onwards. So
fair enough. Do we have the Fulham team to have a look at?
Talk amongst yourselves there, guys, and I will get the Fulham. I'll try and get the Fulham team for you. The wonders of the internet. Paddy, where do you see? Do you think this? There's a good comment here on Twitter. Actually, I'm gonna leave you with it while I then go looking for the Fulham team. But Smith needs to get a handle on who's leaking information from the club. We shouldn't be hearing things 2 hours prior to kickoff, given that we're all expecting him to play today. So what's going on? Is there like where has this come from? Where is this leak come from?
That is an issue. That is definitely an issue. And I would imagine heads will roll when they find out where this is coming from. Because I had heard this yesterday evening and I went, that has to be a load of shit. There's no way that's coming out of the club. It was nearly 24 hours before the team's announced. So I heard it again this morning from another source, and then it was all over Twitter by lunchtime today. But usually, with every other club, a rumour appears to be just that by the time the team comes out to play, but it's just not happening with us. Every time we hear a rumour, it appears to be true. So somebody's leaking somewhere, and it's really not a good look.
Here's Fulham's team, guys, and to be honest with you, this has kind of even put me in an even worse mood as well, because they're starting Mitrovic, and they also have Ruben Loftus-Cheek back in their midfield as well. So they've gotten stronger, immediately gotten stronger after the international break, and we're still a small bit weaker. Obviously, they're probably going to start. It looks like 4-4-2 for me here with Anderson and Tosin in the middle of defense with what's his name, Aina and Tete either side. I would imagine the way we look at it here. Lamina and Harrison Reed in midfield with probably Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Decker-Reed and Lookman either side of him, and then Mitrovic up front in his own. I would say that's probably the way that they're looking at it. Would you say that, Paddy?
Yeah, they revert that way, or they go 4-2-3-1 like we do when we have Jack. So I would see it as a 4-2-3-1. Adebayo and Anderson in the two centre halves. Lookman and Reed, as we said in the preview, they have the ability there to go and destroy us. Loftus-Cheek, disappointed that he's playing because he's obviously a big talent. And as you said, Mitrovic is in there, obviously off the back of getting a few goals on the international break.
Interesting though, I just said that they got stronger with Loftus-Cheek. We see that there's some tweets here to say that they don't seem to think that Loftus-Cheek is an upgrade in their starting 11. Also, they seem to be pretty surprised that Mitrovic is starting. I wish I could turn off the GIFs or GIFs because, actually, good point. What's happened to Anguissa? Why is Anguissa on the bench? Look, Josh Onama, the man who Spurs offered us with like $2.5 million for Jack Grealish, is on the bench. I know Anthony Robinson as well is going to be interesting, because I thought that he would come in and he would play maybe at left back or right back, and maybe even a left back, because Kenny Tete has experience playing in the centre. So will Anthony Robinson, and it would allow them maybe move to a 3 at the back when they're in attack, considering the fact that they do have Lookman and Decker-Reed, who aren't exactly the most defensively minded wingers on the face of this earth. So it's an interesting one. Let's look and see what some of the guys have been saying there. Sorry, I'm going to stop sharing this Fulham team. Let's see. Owen Bradley says, no excuses, we have to win. You know what, Owen? I'm still on that boat. We don't have any excuses. We need to win this game. We've dropped too many points to teams in the bottom 3 so far, bottom 5, bottom 6 so far, probably even held a better bottom 10. We've dropped too many teams, too many points to those teams. So I think we do need to go out and try to win this. I'm just going to turn off Twitter there because it's killing my latency for whatever reason. Brendan Townsend has said, disappointed no Jack, but still think we can get a win. Absolutely. I after my initial kind of palpitations and freak out, I think maybe we can get a win here. Like, we should be able to get a win here. We've beaten, we still have some decent players in that squad as well. Sam says, on a plus side, Fulham will have spent the last couple of weeks trying to deal with Jack due to the lack of fancy football related leaks. Yeah, I suppose there is that as well. Junior says, how long has he been laid up? It's a joke. I think this is a fresh injury, Junior. I think that's, I literally didn't find out about this till we clicked on Go Live. So I think it's a fresh injury. Paddy was saying
the information I got yesterday evening was that it was a fresh injury. Like the people who are telling me these things yesterday have nothing got to do with the club. They're not one way involved. It's just what they've heard from whatever happened on the training ground yesterday. I found it hard to believe that there would have been an intense enough training session yesterday to cause an injury, which leads me to believe that there's maybe a little bit of a reoccurrence. But everybody has said that it's a fresh injury, so we'll just have to wait and hear what Dino says in his pre-match.
Philip says, hopefully Sanson and Luis is the number 6s and McGinn is the number 8. I think you probably have to see it that way, don't you? I think and is probably fluid enough to play 6, 8, 10. I don't really mind seeing him. Like, I don't really mind seeing him in whichever position. he's in. I know Del Boy doesn't particularly like him, but I just haven't seen enough of him to make a definitive decision. And when I see him, when he does come on, he is. I think he gets around the field. He does the correct things. Does the right things at the right time. But he just probably doesn't affect the game, I think, enough already, and that's because the game is maybe passing him by, which is kind of to be expected for someone who's coming into the team. But
he's admitted that he's struggled and to get used to the pace of the game. That's going to take time. It's a huge step up from a very slow paced French football. So he looks like a player. His touch is fantastic. He's a great passer of the ball, but it does pass him by from time to time. So maybe the last 2 weeks have been really good to him too. So we just got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's our player. We've bought him. We own him. And just back him up for now.
And Twitter, Johnny Gould has called on Aston Villa to come clean about Jack Grealish's injury history. I don't think I'm on that level where I think that there's this massive conspiracy, dark state conspiracy theory thing with Jack Grealish. I just think, look, if he's got injured again. If it's a reoccurrence, it's just shit luck, to be honest with you.
I think a lot of people just can't cope with the secrecy. But you've got to be mindful, and it was mentioned there. Fulham have totally set up their team here to prepare for Jack, and he's not there.
I think so too. I think so too. I think so too, and I think there could be something in that as well. Why Anguissa mightn't be in there, even though he is their most defensive midfielder. I think there could be something in that. I don't know, was he on an international duty? Maybe he was, but getting 3 people into the middle midfield there, making sure that there are 3 people who can transition through, really like Harrison Reed. As I say, you've got what's his name? As the other guy said, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and there was someone else who was in there as well. Can't remember who the last person was, and I've gotten rid of their team there on Twitter. Lamina is going. He's definitely going to be more of a defensive guy in there. Yeah. Connor says we need to get Sanson more on the ball today, I think, because Luis, McGinn and Sanson is a good middle three. Just need to play more through the middle. That's really what I want to see now, is if we're just passing the ball out to the wing and hoping to flow crosses into Ollie Watkins, I might age over the course of this 90 minutes. You might put like 5 or 6 years on me. So there is something on that. David Scott says John McGinn scored twice for Scotland during the week. Will Smith let him get forward today? As Paddy said, it looks like he could be sitting behind El Ghazi and Traore. We all live in hope, David. I hope so. I absolutely hope so. Delboy says Mitrovic up front. He loves playing against us. He does, and he loves playing against Ireland as well, because when he came on, he completely changed the game against Serbia that we played during the international break. Not that Ireland are any great shakes, but he really did. That's probably the only good game we've played in the last 2 years, and he completely shook it up for us.
He's a game changer as well for me. He's going to cause us trouble at the back. Am I right in saying that he wound up McGinn or Mings at one stage? Was that earlier this season? I don't know why that's playing in my mind, and I knew once the team was announced that was going to pop into my head.
It would have been hard, I'd say, to wind up McGinn or Mings in a 3-0 loss.
Maybe it's a previous one I'm thinking of, but he has that ability to get inside your head, and hopefully Mings doesn't let that happen today. I definitely know that Konza won't let that happen, but I hope Mings doesn't let it happen.
Do you know what, Lewis? Lewis Newman has probably hit the nail on the head for me now. I just want a decent performance today. I obviously want to win. But I don't want to see Villa go out here with balls to the wall stuff, having to defend for 90 minutes against Fulham. Let's call a spade here, because we should be going out and I'm being very guilty of it here. And this is probably where this experiment may not last too long with the team sheet tantrum, is because I'm in the mindset now very much so of, oh my God, what more could go wrong for us? Where I'm normally after maybe 20 minutes after this, I'll go, right, the anticipation for the game is back on again. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to support my team. Everything's going to go great. And I am in that mindset, I think, in the moment. But I really want a decent performance from this team today. I think the team owe it to themselves. They owe us nothing, but they owe it to themselves to have a decent performance today, considering that they are at risk of fizzling out for the year, and this is the perfect game for them not to. That's
the issue.
Not to do that.
We spoke about it before so many times. We don't have the attacking impetus of bringing our midfield into play without Jack. It's all very one-dimensional. Get the ball wide, get it into the box, hoping Watkins gets something on it. And you know what? Maybe one of the days it will come good. Maybe the crosses will come in today, and Ollie will get on the end of them. But I just can't see it. I think this is going to be really tight. I think we'll boss the game, and I'm reducing my expectations to a 1-0 win, and I think it's going to be scrappy. I think it's going to be hard fought. But
you went with a 1-0 win anyway.
But was it not 2-0? No.
I was 2-0. You went with 1-0.
Right,
I went with 2-0. I had no,
right,
I had no basis
1-0.
in fact. Yeah. No, you went.
Yeah.
You went.
And it does. It changes. Jack not being there changes everything. It's just. I feel like I've had I'm deflated. Haven't heard the news. But look, what can we do? We just got to hope that these guys. It's time to step up. Because there's a few guys, I would imagine the likes of El Ghazi is playing for his future now. He's got to step up to the mark. It's all very well doing it for 1 month of the season, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. So he needs to be more competitive now going into these games. If Jack, we don't know how bad Jack's injury is, he has to step up to the plate, and if he doesn't step up to the plate, it's time to ship him out. So. He's in last chance saloon for me, as is Barkley. So if Barkley gets on there, he needs to run amok today. And I really hope just a performance would be great. A little bit something different. And if that injury only happened yesterday, there might be very little time to work on what they're going to do attacking wise, because it might just revert back to where we are. So as I said, I'm deflated, but I still think there's enough there to go and win it.
Yeah. 5-0 Villa incoming, and we'll all turn around and go, what was the big deal? That was the big deal. That's
be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Just before we go, Dean says, shoot on sight more when in between the edges of the area. We don't do it enough, and the players are good enough. Well, Dean, you're going to get your wish, because a certain Elmer El Ghazi is on the field today, and we know that he just loves to shoot. So I was actually looking through some betting stuff this morning, because there is a charity fundraising initiative at the moment. If you look for hashtag Henry the Brave, I have been helping those guys. It's to do with childhood cancer and getting Henry some treatment. I was going to put on a bet today on Jack Grealish to have to have the first shot, and Jack Grealish to have 2 shots on target, and I'm bloody delighted I didn't put it on. Now I'm just going to go on. I'm going to lump all the money on Anwar El Ghazi to have more than 5 shots in the game, and whatever I win will be going to Henry the Brave, to the Henry the Brave GoFundMe for Henry's cancer treatment. So if anybody, look, as I say, look, everybody is in the same boat with regards to funds and stuff at the moment. But if you can spare anything, hashtag Henry the Brave. If you find it on Twitter, you will every little helps. They're looking to fill Villa Park with €1 donations, which is, Paddy, you'll be able to tell me what's the capacity of Villa Park?
Just over 42,000.
I thought you'd get it on the nose, because I
42,177.
There you go. There you go. All right, lads. What we're going to do is, look, we're going to let everybody go fix either a hard alcoholic drink for the day that's in it, or maybe a soft drink.
I think I'll be changing my tipple in the next 10 minutes, because I just need to calm down a little bit after that news.
Yeah, exactly. I think I might Irish up my coffee now as well before sitting down to the game. Thanks everybody so much. Jeepers, we've got like 30 people watching at the moment. That's thank you so much to everybody. If anybody watching on YouTube, if you don't already, like and subscribe to the podcast, we'd absolutely love it. Give us the like there, or give us the subscription. We'd love it. We're going to do more of these team sheet tantrums, and just be blatantly raw and honest, I suppose, with how we feel that the team is going to set up. And if you liked it, please leave a comment below as well. Really, really, really appreciate it. And thanks everybody. You can follow Paddy on @VillaPaddy. You can catch me on for @LoveMcGrathPod. And here's to a Villa win today. Up the Villa, and have a fantastic Easter Sunday.
Up the Villa.
And of course, I didn't have my exit screen ready. Talk amongst yourselves again, and good luck.